So hold on. All right, let's see. Let me turn it down. Looks like I'm on, and I'll wait for some of you guys to come on. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to go ahead and scan myself. I have this nifty little scanner that helps scan the frequencies inside of my body to see which essential oils could match to that frequency. And it uses something called biometrics, and that's how it does it. It's pretty neat. It's pretty spot on too. So I wanted to do it. I haven't done it in a while, so I decided to do it. But today we're going to talk about cardamom. So while I'm waiting, I was going to talk about blue tansy, but the way I use blue tansy is actually on my facial care, and I'm completely out. So I have to wait until April 4th when my order will be here. And then that way I can show you what my morning routine and what I do when I use blue tansy, because I use blue tansy on my face. And it's like a natural concealer, and I'll actually show you how I do that when I come back online. So in just a minute, I get to see what oils would support my body best. So what does it say? It says, I don't know if you can see that at all. You cannot. I will tell you then. It says Protective Blend, which is our On Guard. It says Holiday Blend Joy. I have that one too. Patchouli. Bone nutrient complex I have, and turmeric. So that's what I'm going to use to support my body today after I use cardamom, because I remember I'm using the oils as I talk about the oils, the ABC oils, as I go through all the oils. I'm actually using that oil that day. So today's oil, we'll talk about blue tansy later. Today's oil is actually cardamom. It's not an oil that I use very often. I have used it before. I know it's inside of Breathe oil, and after reading all this, I'm really curious to know if it's inside of Forgive oil as well, which it probably is. So cardamom oil is an oil that you can use internally. You can put it under your tongue. It has a supplemental facts thing on there, so you can kind of see that. So you can use this one internally if you wanted to. Cardamom is something that we eat. So that generally, in most cases, is how you know if you can use an oil internally or not, is if you can eat cardamom. So cardamom is a spice that is used in a lot of Indian dishes. So you may recognize it when you smell it. You may go, oh yeah, I know that. It's actually an oil that James likes more than I do, but it's one he uses more than I do. So this is good for me to learn this oil as well today. So we're going to talk about cardamom oil. It comes in a 5 ml bottle, and you can use it by putting 1 drop on your hand, rubbing your hands together, breathing in, and it smells like Breathe oil. So if you use Breathe oil, you'd be like, oh wow, so it's the cardamom that really sticks out in that oil. Pretty awesome. So rub it on the back of my neck and in my hair. No, I'm just kidding. No, but okay. So anyway, top uses of cardamom. One that I did know was sometimes when you get a lot of gunk in your chest and in your sinuses, the sinus area, it's kind of all that gunky, sticky stuff. You could actually use cardamom, which is really cool. Is Breathe oil actually has lemon in it, and so I put that on the bridge of my nose before and burned my nose because I went out in the sun, didn't know there was. I didn't put 2 and 2 that there was lemon in it. So hi Haley. So I actually burned the bridge of my nose on accident. But this is pretty cool because say I needed to go outside. This is not one of those sun sensitive oils, so you could actually use cardamom. So if I was having a lot of things going on in my sinus area, and right here and right there, I could actually just take this oil, use a drop, and I could just rub it like here, right here, right here, and right here, and that would be a great a great way to use this oil. So very nice. Oh yeah. Woo. It's not like peppermint, but it's actually a lot calmer than peppermint. So this is one that I probably could use on my kids. Dilute it down with some fractionated coconut oil, and they're having an issue like that. Also, if they got a lot of gunk and you just can't get all of that out, You could actually take this oil, use fractionated coconut oil, and then rub it all over their chest area and the back and wherever they need it. Okay, so I did know this though. I did know that it was a digestive oil. So one of the properties it has is it's a digestive stimulant. So let me go over the properties so that you know. A digestive stimulant, antispasmodic, anti-inflammatory, decongestant, that's what I was talking about here. Expectorant, that's what I was talking about here in your chest area when you need to get that all out. And those are the main reasons. There's other things, but I don't really know what those are, so I can't really explain them. All right, so if you had to have an upset tummy, unhappy tummy, you could use this oil in the tummy area as well. I'm curious to know if this oil is in digestion. So these are some things I'm going to look at when I'm done. I bet you it is. Another reason why you could use this is anything digestive, too much coming out or nothing coming out. There you go. You could use this oil. You could use this, so you could use this oil on the tummy area. You just rub it on the tummy area with some fractionated coconut oil. Whenever you use oil, so you want to use them every 15 to 30 minutes if you're having a problem. I was just listening to make sure my kids were okay. I heard something. I was like, is that crying? Okay. So every 15 to 30 minutes, you want to use the oil until you have relief. That's really important and imperative that you do that, because your body, it's supporting your body, and your body actually takes time for it to make miracles, right? Miracles do happen in your body, but your body, it takes their body time for it to happen. So use the oil continuously to help it support. Hi, Anthony, how are you? We're talking about cardamom oil. So the next thing that you can use this oil for is when you have, some people have like a burning sensation in their stomach area, in the lining of their area, in the lining of their stomach area. I can't actually say what it is because I can't do that, but if you can kind of feel me on that one. Some people have these things that they bleed and they cause problems for them. You could use this oil for that because it's a digestive oil, so it can actually help you with that. So those people who love to eat jalapenos, you crazy jalapeno, hi Megan, you crazy jalapeno eaters, cardamom oil is the oil for you. And I would put this one under my tongue if I like to eat lots of jalapenos and hot sauce and it causing a burning sensation on my stomach lining. There you go. Okay, so the next one is, this is a favorite oil for women during their time of month. It actually helps with those occasional pains that you get. And I made it sound softer than it really is for women. So this is a good oil for that. It's cardamom oil. Another way you can use this oil is if you have some soreness that starts to happen, some dryness and some soreness that happens in your throat area. You like that? In your throat area, you could actually rub this oil on your throat like this, or you could just put it under your tongue. Or a lot of people just take the oil and rub it on the roof of their mouth is another way you can do it instead of putting directly under your tongue. But since this is an internal use oil, you can do those things. Let's see. So a lot of people always ask me, how can I bring the temperature down when my child is having an increased temperature? You can use peppermint on the bottom of your feet, and you can also use cardamom. So it's a good one that you can use, a good one to keep in your home and keep around. Let's see. So we're going to talk a little bit about the mental side of it in a second, but let's just for right now talk about when you have exhaustion in your mental capacity, when you just cannot go on anymore. I mean, you're tired in your mental state, and you're like, I don't even know how I'm even making it, you know, then this would be an oil that you can use. So say you have a long drive that you've been driving for a long time and you're just not thinking clearly, you could use peppermint to kind of keep your energy up and to keep you awake. And then you can use cardamom that will actually keep you clear in your mind, which is really good. All right, so the next thing is we talked about the stomach lining, and then you also have some problems that people sometimes have around their pancreas. This would be a good oil for that as well because it's in that same system, because the oils work on the system of the body. Another thing is bad breath. No, I don't know anybody who has that issue, but I do know that when some people in different cultures will get the cardamom pods and they'll pop them in their mouth and they'll chew on them after they eat. And I guess some of that is for the digestive system stuff, but also maybe to freshen up their breath. Remember that these oils are 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. So you're going to get a more powerful experience when you do directly the oil instead of but that doesn't mean that you can't eat cardamom or eat cilantro or any of these great herbs. Of course, you want to keep those around, but if you're looking for something a little bit more bang for your buck, no, I'm just kidding, more powerful, then you want to get the oils. Okay. And remember, if you're not working with anyone with oils and you'd like some help with that, I'm happy to help you with that. So I always put links on the oil that we talk about, and then also some recommendations that I think that if you would like to get started. So you can do that. I always put it on every video that I do now, and making sure that you have access, that if you want them, that you can get them. Okay, so cooking, you can use this if you're out of cardamom and you want to cook, you can actually do this. Now, when I'm cooking with oils, I actually put the toothpick, a clean toothpick, I put it in there, and then I kind of do that because they're so strong. I have ruined some spaghetti sauce in the past by putting a drop in there of oregano and a drop of basil. It didn't taste so good. So now I've learned you take a toothpick and you kind of go like that until you have the desired taste that you want inside of your food. So when cooking with oils, that's important. All right, so let's talk about the emotional component. And I was talking last time on the video that you have emotional people and you have logical people. Emotional people have trouble controlling any emotion that they have. They wear their emotions on their sleeve. These people are very important in our society because they're the creative ones. They're the ones that bring fun and inspiration and things of that sort into the world. And then we have logical people on the other side who are the ones who keep the financial status going and keep us moving in that direction. And they're very, very organized and very precise and detail oriented and all of those. The logical people have a really hard time controlling their anger. And so this is a really important oil for anyone who struggles with anger. So if you are a logical person, I'm going to tell you right now, the one emotion that you have trouble controlling, the only emotion you have trouble controlling is anger. You blow up. You blow up. You let things boil up and you blow up, or you just blow up. Okay. So cardamom oil would be a great oil to have on hand so that you don't, make a fool out of yourself, so you don't, so that you don't have to feel guilty or shameful for the way you responded and the way you acted in a certain case. Okay. So this is for anybody, but definitely logical people, anger. So let's talk a little bit about it. We talked already about mental clarity and mental sobriety, but it's also in line with self-control. If you think, hi Curtis, if you think about logical people not being able to control that emotion of anger, then this would be a great one for them because it helps them with self-control. If you are an emotional person and you have trouble controlling any emotion that actually you have, then this would be a good oil for you because it will help you to regulate and control those emotions, okay? All right, but it's mainly for frustration, those types of feelings like frustration or anger. And it's really, really awesome for people who are considered to be hot-headed. I don't know anybody like that. And you're just kidding. So it could be me. Maybe it's not me. Maybe it is me. Just kidding. So cardamom oil is great for that. All right, so in moments of extreme anger and frustration, if you don't know what to do and you're like, sometimes we catch ourselves and we're like, why am I like this? I don't want to be like this, but it kind of feels good, right? It kind of feels good to be this angry. But when you're ready to let that go, sometimes it's hard to get out of that anger. So you can just grab some cardamom oil and you can help yourself with that. And how would I use it? I would in this instant, I would actually put it on my hand and smell it. I would go like this. Because it is a respiratory oil, I forgot to tell you that you can actually make a little diffuser that looks like this, and it goes like that. And get that right down into your lungs, and it smells really good. Now you can always wipe the rest on the back of your neck or on your spine or on your feet or something like that. Okay. So let's move on. The bottom of your feet is a favorite place of mine. So when the aggression and the anger becomes too overwhelming for you, and you keep directing it and projecting your anger onto other people, and you're directing it outward, and you're like, you're praying in your head or whatever, like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be this way. Then reach for your cardamom oil, put it in your hands, smell your hands, and relax. Like, it takes 30 seconds to 2 minutes for it to travel through your body into your cellular structure. And so it can really help you with that. Maybe it's take your oil with you outside, go for a little walk, and just do that and let those feelings go. It's really important because it's a digestive oil, it's important to help you digest the feeling of anger. So you could also take this cardamom oil and put it on your solar plexus, which is right. So you have energy centers inside of your body. You have your root chakra, your third eye chakra, you have your throat chakra, you have your heart chakra, and you have your solar plexus is right under here. I don't know if you can say right under here. And that is where it can digest the energy of anger. So if you want to put cardamom oil right there, that would be good. You just dilute it down, especially if you have sensitive skin. You can put fraction of coconut oil, almond oil, jojoba oil, grapeseed oil, something like that, and just put it right there. It's great for intense emotions and frustrations. And it'll help you to let go of the distortions that are causing you to see other people as inconveniences. So, and generally that's anger comes a lot of times from that, from condemning, complaining, and what's this three? Complaining, condemning, and I don't remember, but it doesn't matter. What does matter is that when we start to look outwardly as in that way, in that manner, this is a great oil for you. It will help you to stop. It'll help you to, when you use this oil, or let me put it this way. So I need to be kind of careful about how I say it and what I say. So if you find yourself blaming others and you're not really taking personal ownership and responsibility for your own feelings, and you're projecting it out onto other people as if it's their fault. If you're looking for peace, calm, and you want to be more in control of yourself, this is a great oil to reach for. It's a great oil to use, and I would use it every 15 to 30 minutes until you have calmed down, until you feel like you have control over yourself and you can have a conversation with someone. Because when we are so inebriated by anger, we cannot think or speak clearly. It's all rationale has gone out. All rationale is, when you're talking to someone in anger, you can see it. I mean, you think it looks like they're crazy, and they are for a minute, because it's like they lost all logic at that point. And it's just, they're so engulfed by that anger. So you want to use this oil. And these are great oils that you can use. This one. Hi, Kelly. So great. We were just talking about you, Kelly. So I was like, hey, have you talked to Kelly? And he said, no. And he said something about how you wanted to hang out. And I'm like, well, why doesn't he come over? So why don't you text James and find a time when you can come hang out with us? We'd really like that. So you can use cardamom oil with thyme oil, which is the oil of letting go, and oregano oil, which is the oil of detachment. So meaning if you get too attached, abstinence is, I think is what they call it. I can't remember, but anyway, it's about attachment. So if you get too attached to an idea, you can use oregano oil for that. And then cardamom oil is the oil of objectivity. So it's a great oil for those logical people or anybody who's suffering and dealing with anger or suffering and feeling like nobody around them is good enough. Nobody around them is doing their part. They're doing everybody's job, and things of that sort. And they're just like inflicting all of this hatred out into the world. If you feel that way, then just make yourself feel better. Get some cardamom in your life. So I forgot to tell you before I sign off that I'm doing a class on Saturday at 4 o'clock. There's only 6 seats. So if you'd like to come, you have to RSVP right away. It's an in-person class inside of my house. It's called I Have My Oils Now What? And what that is just going through mixing oils, how to train yourself to like run to your book when you have things, and how to look up information, and how do you do this? Like, how do you live a life like that? A regimen. Maybe you need some people to speak into your life to help you design like a regimen or like a healthy habits or something of that sort. So we're going to get together. You can ask me any questions and I'll be here for you for that. And so that's pretty much what it is. I'm excited to see you for the 6 people who are going to come. That's just because the space only allows 6 people. So, and you'll just have to come to a different class if you don't get that one. All right, you guys, thanks so much for sharing your time with me about cardamom oil. And when I get my oil on the 4th, my face stuff on the 4th, I'll show you how I use blue tansy. You guys have a great time. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye.